Hi, Bear.
Hi,
Can
Teresa.
can you hear
Oh,
me okay?
yeah, everything okay? How is it going with you in Florida?
It's very interesting. Yes, I hit a bump in the road and then I smooth it out and keep going and then
Okay.
I get a nice pleasant surprise and been seeing a lot of friends, which is fun.
Uh-huh.
It certainly absorbs a lot of time.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, yes. And how has your week been in Germany?
Yeah, great. I had a good week. Did a lot of things on my lead gen funnel, and summer is coming to Germany. Sun is shining, going to 20 degrees. So
Oh,
it's great.
fantastic. That's great. This is the time of year when it's so special because I feel like everything kind of renews itself.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
birds. I saw a lot of baby cows yesterday driving through Florida.
Okay.
Everything starts new and fresh in the spring.
Yeah, it's getting green outside. The flowers are coming out. Yeah, I like it very much this spring.
Oh, me too. Me too. It's uh it's peaceful.
Yeah, also.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just disregard everything what is going on in the big world now, then it's peaceful.
I know. That's the one
Is
thing
it?
I have to adjust to is I normally don't listen to the news, but all of the friends I stay with do.
Yeah,
I've had plenty of input of news.
yeah. It's hard to look not at the news at the moment. It's really strange what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, yeah. Now Nicole said she was going to join us this morning. I don't see her.
Can you
Uh,
see me now?
Right?
oh, there you are. I was just sending you a
Hey.
message. Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
Excellent.
I had to look around for it. I'm also cooking breakfast, so I'm gonna go off Zoom for a sec or off video, but I'm here.
I love it. What's for breakfast today?
Oh, I always do like a concoction of like, some sliced mushrooms and either chickpeas or beans or something like that with a fried
Mm.
egg, and then I put it over mashed avocado, and I'm adding a
Oh.
little arugula today.
Mm.
Sounds great.
All right, I'm gonna hide, but I'll be
Okay.
back.
Okay. So, Barrett, what can I help you with today? I know you've been working on your wonderful new funnel. I'm excited for you. I think it's very on target.
hmm Yeah, I just sent half an hour ago the formula, the Google Sheet with the information for you for the Jumpstart
Oh,
package.
wonderful. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. Let me double
Yeah,
check here while we're both on the line.
yeah, sure.
And I've got all the forms bookmarked. All right, go into the correct drive here. Google loves to default me to OneDrive, and I'd love for it to just say, which drive would you like? Yeah. Okay, here it comes. Oh, nice, Barrett. As I see your responses. This is awesome. You've got the Instagram there and the
The output of the GPT prompts I will send you via email after our meeting here.
okay, thank you. Yeah, that's key for creating the ads.
Yeah,
I asked to look at the social media URLs to get a feel for your brand and that sort of thing.
yeah, it's an old one, so not a lot of information.
Okay. Well, the important thing is you have one. Just something to remember when you with the ads, if there's at least some posting going on your Facebook account, it really does help with the ad auction.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So what, so were you able to get through all the prompts?
Um, I will do it after our meeting here.
Okay,
No problem. I think it's similar to what we have done with the prompts to create the tests for the headlines somehow.
it is pretty similar.
Mhm.
Yes, and it has um, you can use the prompts as many times as you want. You know, don't feel like it's like you've used it and you can't use it again. You feel free to use the prompts as much as you can. And look at what each response is. You know,
Mhm.
me, I get in the habit of just copying and pasting prompts, but I don't really read what my feedback was, what the response was. And I've learned when I take the time to read the response, sometimes I
Mhm.
need to tweak that next prompt just a bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
feel free to be a thinker with this as well.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, the prompts came out of me using somebody else's prompts and going, no, it would work better like this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to think while doing this. Yeah.
Right, right. And matter of fact, that's how I came up with the anthropologist,
Mhm.
you know, thinking,
Yeah. It's
who has
interesting.
these answers? Like what professional role in the world would know this? And I didn't want to go with a psychologist
Yeah.
because
That's
their
what.
information is from the books.
Okay.
Well, they do a lot of testing and experimenting with mice, of course. Pavlov's experiment. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've some questions. Perhaps we have a little bit time for this.
Yes, of
Um,
course, please.
so one thing was you sent a video with the defining audiences. Can you please show where to find it?
Yes, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. That's one of the areas I was thinking if we don't do anything else, I'm gonna make sure everybody knows where the audiences are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my screen. You'll see it's very exciting with a lot of tabs open. I was working on way too many projects this morning. Okay, so I'm gonna share. Da-da-da-da. This is my Facebook Ads Manager. Can you see it okay?
Yes. For me.
Great. Now over here in this left-hand column, Facebook has put together these cool new icons. And this one, the fourth one down, audiences, if you click here, this is what's going to come up is where I've already created some custom audiences. And I have a message here from Facebook. They're changing their location targeting. Oh, they removed something. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to push that back up out of the way. So on the spreadsheet itself, when you go to start, you click here on this blue create audience button. And when you click on it, it's going to give you a drop-down menu where it says custom audience. You want to select that one, and this pop-up window is going to appear. Now, the first audience type on that spreadsheet is video. So you select video and you go to next, and the second pop-up window comes up. And then from here, with this drop-down arrow, we're going to select at least a through play of the video.
Mm.
And then from the through play, we're going to click select videos. Now, as you can see, you have to select your Facebook page also, and you can search your Facebook page here. Like if I were to say, let's do Mr. Jesse here. So you can see it's got a white box here that can be checked off, a thumbnail of the video. Some of the details, such as the length of the video, is the most important thing here to pay attention to. And it does tell you how many 3-second video views it's had. If there's no 3-second video views, I would not select it to be monitored by the Pixel. Because what you're doing is you're selecting popular videos and asking the Pixel to monitor that video for more people that have looked at it.
Mm.
So for example, if we're looking at videos that are less than a minute long, that would be all of these because they're 15 seconds, 34 seconds, 40 seconds, 40 seconds. As you can see, this one had 1,233 3-second views. So what I'm going to do is just select all of these here. And as you can see, as I select them, it populates on the right-hand side here. Now there's usually 6 to a page and there's only 4 here. So I'm aware there's only 4 videos on this particular Facebook page. If there was more than 6, you would use these toggle buttons up here to forward to the next page. And then once you've gone through all of your pages and selected all of your videos that are 1 minute or less, then you're going to click your confirm button down here. And you can see where these thumbnail sketches have appeared here. Now our audience retention is going to be for 28 days. And we're going to call this the RR28. And I like to put the naming convention in here for the name of the audience, RR28, VV for video views. Let's start with the VV for video views, RR28. And then these are vids, 1 minute or less. So I'm going to use my less sign. Is that the correct sign for less? I'm mathematically challenged with the greater than and less than signs. Now in the description, and this is all part of the instructions that's on that spreadsheet, in the description, you want to put the date and then how many videos there were. As you can see, it's got the 4 videos here. It will only show you up to 4 thumbnails. If there's more than 4 videos, it'll have a plus sign here with the number of videos that are included. So your total number wouldn't be that number, it would be that number plus the 4 thumbnails. Does that make sense?
Why do you choose 28 days?
That's the time when Facebook renews everything. They go on a
Okay.
28-day period.
Okay, it's not possible to have 60 days, 100 days.
You could have as many as 365 days for some of the audiences.
Mm-hmm.
If you start with 28 days, that's a good reference time for almost any business or any niche area to track audiences for. And it also matches Facebook's algorithm, so you've got a benefit there. I've seen people go as short as 7 days. That's normally used when you're retargeting like a webinar that's being promoted or an event, because you're down to a very short time frame. The other time to use 7 days is in e-commerce. To make sure that that purchase stays fresh in their mind. But everybody here is in a service-based business. The 28 days is really the shortest amount of time you want to go with. Does that make sense?
And do I understand it right? You define this audience, yeah, of course, after the videos have been shown via Facebook, right?
Yes.
And then you can use it for retargeting or in other ads.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now, the reason we start with the through play is anything less than that, they're really not paying much attention, and to be honest, does the sheet say 10 seconds or through play? I think it might say 10 seconds. It's been a while since I looked at it. I apologize. And I don't do this all the time. Does anybody have the audience sheet handy? If not, I can pull it up.
It is 10 seconds is the first
That's what I
cutoff.
thought. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's I think the next cutoff is through play, which is 15 seconds or more.
Yeah. Yeah, over time this has changed. The through play, like 5 years ago, would have been the shortest. The 10 seconds does make more sense because people's short attention span. The 3 seconds, these are the ones that just aren't valuable at all to you. It at least shows you that people are watching the video, So it's a good performance indicator to use when you're selecting the videos. Like if there wasn't at least a 3-second view of a video, you would not want to include that. So 10 seconds. And see, it's gonna make me select the videos again. I like that. I'm confirming. We've got the audience retention time. Video is less than 1 minute. And I'm gonna say 10 seconds here. Use a lowercase s there for seconds. Now, in this description, this is where I'm gonna put the number of videos that are there. And the reason for this is, once this is all completed here, does that answer your question, Barrett?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So we're gonna create the audience. It's gonna give you the option to create another custom audience. You could click on that. It's gonna take you back to the screen. And you would continue to go down that spreadsheet and create each of the audiences. Now, here, what I want to show you is once you have all of your audiences created, one last time, you're going to click create audience over here, but you're going to make a saved audience. Now, the saved audience, just click, you've got your country, your age, you can exclude audiences. Now, if you're creating a saved audience and you're running lead ads, you would want to exclude your leads, your lead event. You'd want to exclude your thank you pages. If it was a saved audience for purchases, you would, yep, I do more leads than purchases on this demo account. Okay, so you can select your audience range here, select your gender, and then, where's my scroll bar? We're gonna exclude, and then we're custom audience. So here's, skip this Advantage Plus thing. Under include, this is where, see how that audience we just made popped up here? Do you see that? Give me a thumbs up.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So once that's done, oops, I don't want the thank you page. We would just select all the audiences that you make on that spreadsheet, except for the excluded ones. And I already took this out. So you would just put every single audience that you created into the custom audience.
Ah, okay. Yep.
And then from there, you're going to create your saved audience. And this is the saved audience is what you use for your retargeting. So I did this for a client of Nicole's, so that all Nicole's client had to do was go in and create the ad and pick the audience out. And then from there, her lead cost dropped by how much, Nicole? Was it?
I don't know off the top of my head.
That's all right. That's all right. It dropped, I think, by at least 25%, maybe 30%. It
I
was
have to look at
significant.
that.
It was
Yeah,
a
that's
significant difference.
yeah.
And that's why I want everybody to know about your retargeting.
Mm.
Yeah. Does that make it a little more clear on how to set up a retargeting audience, Barrett?
Mhm. Yeah. So do you put all information in it? So from the retargeting Excel, there are from videos, websites, what else?
Yeah, whatever's on
Interactions
that spreadsheet
and so on.
that I gave you.
Everything which is in the spreadsheet can be placed in one audience, or do
Yes.
you divide it to several audiences? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
One audience for one
One big
campaign.
party with everybody in the room,
Okay. Good.
putting all the
And
cooks in the kitchen. So they can like whip something up like and start buying things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I apologize, I'm getting a low battery message
Oops.
on the phone here. So let me just plug my phone in real quick. Excuse me a second. Okay. Did you get some of that cold front that's going across the nation, Nicole?
It is freezing,
Oh,
absolutely freezing.
oh my gosh.
It's like, it was, I think, 28 degrees this morning.
Wow. Okay.
Welcome to my world, except it's going to be 62 today, and that is a heat wave in Idaho.
Oh,
April, so
yeah.
we're good. Loving it.
Oh my gosh. Phew. It's like 68 this morning here in Florida. And I'm okay with that because I have to get used to the cooler temperatures anyway. So my knee-jerk reaction was to try to get my jeans out of the suitcase downstairs. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wear my shorts. I have to get used to this.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's in the 40s here until Saturday, through Saturday. A little warmer on Sunday, but I mean, no, it shouldn't be this way.
No.
Where are you at again, Nicole?
I'm in Connecticut.
Well, yeah, it should be that way.
What do you mean?
Connecticut?
It's April. No. Let me see if it says what the oh, it's not
Teresa, how long are you in Florida for?
Till Friday. I'm here till Friday, and then I'll be over in Europe starting next Monday. The weekend's my transition.
Uh-huh. How long will you be in Europe?
I don't know, October or so.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So it's for the duration.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I just saw travel advisories for like Mexico, South America, like high alert stuff going on. So
They're all out there, and they're out there all the time. And there's like 4 different levels of travel advisories. And it's everything from, oh my gosh, you better watch out for the pickpockets, to, okay, seriously, don't go there, you will get kidnapped.
yeah.
So
Where
you
are
got
you
4
landing?
levels. And
Where's your
okay, so in all craziness, I mean, I like the travel advisories, but at the same time, I've gotten a little lax in following them because it is stuff like, look out for the pickpockets.
Yeah.
Like, I
Teresa,
need that at home.
I have a question. Are you still working with Burnt a little bit, or
Well, thank you for moving us along. I appreciate that, Nicole.
sorry?
Yes. So Baron, I want to make sure you're complete. And does that make more sense with the audiences?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And for everything which is done during headline test, creative tests, and so on, this can also be used for creating an audience, right? Because we set the
Absolutely.
pixel. Mm,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. And just I have another question. If you have time, perhaps we can first move on to Nicola
Well,
and
why
Jody.
don't we see why don't we do like one question each and then come back and do another round? How does that sound?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
We'll be Socratic. Okay, who would like to go next?
my question's quick. 9 or 1, Teresa?
9 or 1, referring to,
Your school post.
oh,
Either works. Which was mountain, I
if
think.
we, yeah.
You said 9 or
Is
1
it
mountain.
possible to do 1 tomorrow?
Ah, yes.
Perfect. You
One
got it.
mountain, 1 mountain.
Correct.
Okay. That's
Correct.
my only question for today.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
You are on it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
because everything depends on that.
Okay, cool. Nicole,
Yeah, so
you're
my
up.
question, I am filling out the Lead Jumpstart program,
Yes.
and my question, you talked a little bit about it with Baron before, but for choosing the audience, so here's the thing, like, Sarah, Sarah can have so many different audiences.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, one thing she loved your idea of focusing on expats, but that's, and we could have something where
Mm.
there's language in there about how, you're living in your retirement in your dream location, or I don't know, whatever it might be. But so is the idea then that
Yeah.
you would take the output from those prompts to create the ads?
Well, this is a great question. The idea is the output is like the foundation for the ads. It's really the actual ad. I've had to like really play with it a lot. When I'm looking at like the offer and the website, I'm putting my own like spin on it, if you will. Let's say one of the avatars or audience groups was someone who was trying to ride a bicycle, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it could be, yeah.
Okay. And so they're attempting to ride the bicycle and they're having too much, low back pain from bending over on the bike. So I would focus, what I would do as a marketer is look at how does that impact, like a before and after scenario. Before they had the treatment, Sarah services versus after. Another way to look at it is because exercise is supposed to be something that gives you pleasure and a good outcome. Yes, you might be hot and sweaty afterwards and exhausted, but you should feel good afterwards. So that negative outcome of not being comfortable after the bike ride prior to Sarah services versus feeling good is another way to approach that ad.
Yeah, so I
Um,
mean, so
that's
here's
how
the thing, it's like I could almost find, so what I initially did was I split, I ran two scenarios. Um, I I think I did male and female. And then I did one that was I split it by age group because it's really like the age ranges are like what did we say, 45 to 54, and then 55 to 64. um
Mm,
because then I was thinking, it's like, okay, so these are people who are going to be, they're kind of in different stages of life,
right.
you know so that younger age range could, they could still have kids living at home. They could have, their life is going to be very different, maybe very active in their career and all that, or trying to be. And the other group might be more like, thinking about or in retirement, you know
Yeah,
so
and with the you're right. You could have these different audiences. Some people have as many as 6 different audiences.
so
So
the,
the idea with the lead jumpstart is to focus on one audience because you're only going to have the 3 ads in the lead jumpstart.
right.
And we could, there's 5 pieces of ad copy, 5 headlines, 5 descriptions. So you could go broad and say, Teresa, I want to use all 3 audiences in my 3 ads. But it's gonna really dilute the approaches.
So we
So
want,
from a marketing perspective and using ads, you're looking for what's going to hook their attention, what their main problem is. So if you focus in on one audience and start to troubleshoot that one audience, it's the same concept as staying an inch wide and going a mile deep. Like where exactly, what is the hook that's going to get that audience in versus who needs me? Who wants this service?
right.
I think you might want it because of this and you might want it because of that. But if we take those 3 ads and we focus in on one audience, we're going to get really good results.
Okay. So then the question is which audience? Because here's the other thing.
Okay,
You know, and I always find this to be the problem when I'm doing stuff with AI is that I kind of know what outcome I want, and I'm like, I have to keep putting in more prompts to try and get the outcome, and it's just so much easier for me just to write it myself. You know what I
right,
mean? So, and I had an example of this. I mean, it was a stupid one. I got ChatGPT to create an image for me and a bicycle wheel, right? To
okay,
basically, I'm talking about ad approaches, right? Where you can
right,
have, you know, you can have one offer in the middle, but then like if we do in Sarah's case, so her offer is to help people with ongoing pain and, you know, it's like it's the ongoing joint pain and muscle pain type of thing, right?
right,
But yeah, so one audience can be, you know, men, I could do the two age groups. So men in the first window, and then another audience could be men in the second window. And then
right.
so I was telling ChatGPT, okay, put client profile number 1 and then go sequentially around and fill in client profile number 2. It messed it up. It did not understand sequentially. So then I said, do it
No,
in this order. Upper right-hand corner, put client profile number 1, middle right quadrant or not quadrant, whatever, section, you know, client profile number 2. And I literally tried, I think 5 times, spelling it out each time what I wanted, and it could not get it right.
how
So
long
I
ago was this?
yesterday. So
Okay,
so what I did was I just said, give me the bicycle wheel with nothing put in it. I downloaded it to Canva and put in my own stuff. So, but this is the problem that I have with ChatGPT or any of these things constantly is I spend so much time trying to get the output right, but why can't I just type it myself? You know what I mean? It's much faster. So,
well, there's two things going on. One is incompetence on GPT's part. You know, like you said, it's not able to do things sequentially. The other thing that's going on is it may or may not be getting used to you, because when you're doing things for different clients, I have the same problem. It totally shifts. Yeah, when I go from one client to another, I have to like almost retrain it in that voice. And I've tried different things. I'm to the point where I'm going to start using GPTs for each client and make it go faster that way.
that does sounds smart.
Yeah.
But so again, it's like for me to be able, like, this is like a bottleneck. I've been trying to get you this for over a week, and I'm like, it's
Yeah, don't worry about the graphics. I mean,
no,
we'll take
no.
care of
I
the
mean, the
graphics with this
graphic that
one.
was for that was just to illustrate that that the problem that I have with trying, like, I know what I want the output to be, but for me to get ChatGPT to do it, just takes too, it's just too hard to do. So it's the same thing when so what happened was I had Sarah review the first output, right?
Okay.
And she's like, this is all pain language. It's too much pain language. And what she doesn't want is to be attracting people with like fibromyalgia or stuff like that.
Mm,
So
okay.
her audience are people who are active, but it's painful for them to be active, and sometimes to the point where they just can't do it, right? So
Yeah.
they're not sitting on the couch not doing anything, even though that might be the most comfortable position for them. They're
Mhm.
still out doing things, and a lot of the language that it was coming back with made it sound like these people were so depressed, and like Sarah was like, this is, you know, I don't want to be attracting people who really have psychological problems because of their pain. You know
Mm,
what I mean?
yeah.
So, what is the best way for me to give you what you need? I guess that was really the question, because if I need to get this to you in that as a AI output,
Right.
I need to, I'm gonna really have to spend a lot of time fine tuning these prompts and trying to get it to be what I want it to be.
Okay.
Or is there
Would you
another way
rather
to
use
do
your
this?
own
Can I
prompts for it?
can I pop in a second and just make a suggestion
Okay.
too on it? So Nicole, I have found I was in the same pickle you were until just a couple of months ago. And I'm pretty much exclusively using Claude, but I think even when I was using chat on some things, I have gotten to the point where I tell it the outcome that I'm looking for, and I ask it, what is the best way for me to present this to you for these things? And then it tells me sequentially how it wants me to load in information. And I get a heck of a better result when I do that.
Mm.
Like when I'm letting it prompt me, right? I tell it, what I'm looking for. The other thing you might do is ask it, ask it for, I just in simple language, explain that it's not people with, these type of symptoms, but these are active people that are experiencing pain, but pushing through the pain or whatever type of
Yeah.
thing. I
No,
just
I mean,
find that when I give it
so
more,
this is, yeah, so this is, I guess I'm just trying to understand from Teresa how you need this, because you're going to be using this information to create the ads.
Right.
Do you really want, do you really want it, is it important that it comes out of that, from out of AI, or,
It's not important that it comes out of AI. It's the answers that I would be looking for to start to create your ad. So if you already have an audience that you've drawn up, the demographics and psychographics, and you want to just give me that,
um, I mean, I guess the thing is, it's like really kind of knowing what you want. Um,
although the prompts, the prompt exercise is in there because a lot of people don't know how to go about identifying their audience.
okay.
Yeah, when I came up with the program, I had to sit down and think through, okay, if I didn't know how to put together an ad, and what do I not know? As someone who's not familiar with putting together an ad, what do they need? What do they need to do? What are the steps?
Mm. Okay. So
And as part of the 30-day game plan that comes with the ads, if there's things missing, like if there's not a lot of information on your Facebook page, that's part of the game plan, is at least post once a week. As far as the game plan is, this ad's working because of this key KPI, this key metric, leave it going, or when to turn one off. And that's part of the weekly coaching as well, is what we're looking for in our ads.
So do you recommend that, because I mean, Sarah, when you guys spoke, she was
Right.
really excited about targeting that, the expat audience.
Yes.
Is this a good way for us to do it in this particular sprint that we're doing, or is it better for us just to kind of stick with, the audience that we already have,
Yeah.
type of thing?
If you wanted to do the expat audience, I would need to ask you to do some of that research.
Okay. And I have no idea how to, like, where to start with that.
So if you already have an audience that you are happy with, that you feel good about, let's start there.
Okay. Because I mean, again, I guess it's more like, I'm just like I could actually answer what the day is like for these people.
A day in the life.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you can do that and you don't need the prompt, it's okay to not use the prompt.
Okay.
Now,
All
don't
right.
put yourself through extra work that you don't have to do.
Yeah. Okay. And I think what I need to do is I was just kind of like putting all the prompts in. And I think what I need to do is, if I'm going to try the prompts again, is to do one at a time and to look at one and then
Read the response.
adjust
Yeah.
that as, get that one answered the way I feel comfortable, and then go on to the next one.
Yes.
that's what I did. and I got a
Yes.
better result. But there were some
And
of
if you
them
look
that I
at,
had to
yeah,
refine because it started to go off on a tangent direction I didn't want it to go, and I had to kind of hone it in. Um, and so like I think it was prompt number 3 and 4, especially. It seemed like I've done it now a couple of times, and it's like it kind of starts to go haywire on 3 and 4 for me. But then I
by
dial
haywire,
it
what
back
do you
in.
mean?
So like for instance, you know that like Lataine's audience is a solidly Christian audience.
Right?
And so or you know, like evangelical type of Orthodox Christian audience.
Right.
And what it did was start to go off into kind of a like new age spirituality type of language. And so I
Mm,
had to kind of hone it back in.
okay.
And so I did that. And then from
Guardrails.
there on, it built on what was there, but I did it one question at a time. Because there were some things that got weird. And it was early on, you know, on those first, but once I honed that, it seemed to use that to kind of continue to refine all the way through.
And that's part of it. That's part of training the voice or getting GPT to speak in your brand language. And
Mhm.
and just as an FYI for you, Nicole, as you move forward with using ChatGPT, this is one of the things that's going to come up, no matter what project you're working on with ChatGPT, and that's why you've got to like tell it, I need this, not that. Just like you said with the graph, I don't want it here, I want it there. And it's kind of like training an intern. You know, we
I
don't.
was ready to fire this one because I mean it was just like, and I did. I fired ChatGPT. I'm like, just I will do it myself. Thank you very much. You know, because it just gets to the point where it's like, why am I like, it's just too much of a struggle. Especially if I know what I want the output to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you're available next Tuesday for the AI Club call. We'll have Clive Cable on as our guest speaker, and he's somehow figured out how to use Claude with copywriting formulas. And he picks out which copywriting formula he wants to use in his next prompt based on the response.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And he's writing entire landing pages doing this system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
that-
So,
so-
so to move it, so do you want me to, because again, the other thing is we can do more, speak about, joint pain in general, or we can pick a specific body part, you know? So,
Right, right. Yeah. There's a lot of different options for you.
yeah.
Um, just from my own medical background, depending on the age group, like once people start to hit their 50s, knees are a problem. And low back problems start in their 40s. So just to give you an idea, neck pain is like it's up there, but it's not as something that people address as much. The knees are, because we're walking on our knees. Like people will tolerate neck pain, but they will do anything to fix their knee pain or their back pain. Because your back
Right.
pain is pretty much renders you immobile or unfunctional if it's that severe.
So, because I want us to get like the best possible result. So, is it better
Sure, me
for us?
too.
Yeah. Is it better for us to pick a location, a pain location?
Um, I would focus on what she likes to do best,
It
where
makes no
she's
difference. It makes no
where
difference.
she feels the most successful. Like
Yeah.
like in my therapy practice, we did a phenomenal job with low backs. We were the go-to for low backs in aquatic therapy.
Yeah. Well, because
Knees not so
everything,
much, and we sucked at necks.
well, again, because her approach is not hands-on and it's all like it makes no difference, right?
Well, if her approach has the most effectiveness with one specific, or what's her top 5 areas that she is known for, that she's
Yeah,
good
so
at, and she likes taking care of.
it's gonna be knees, back, hip, neck and shoulder.
Okay, so there's your 5: knees, back, hips, shoulders. Neck,
Neck.
yeah, there's,
Yeah.
there's your 5. And out of those 5, which ones does she feel the most successful with? Which one does she want more referrals for? Maybe she wants to
Okay.
try out a new neck,
Because
What do you think?
her answer will be all of the above. It's like because it makes absolutely no difference where the pain is.
Okay, so I would definitely go with knees for men in the age group of 50.
Okay. Why men? And don't forget, the age groups are 45 to 54 and 55 to 64. So
That doesn't matter. That's how Facebook breaks it down. That doesn't mean how you have to break down your audience. If you feel like your audience is 48 to 60, we can put 48 to 60 into the ad. We don't have to follow what Facebook breaks down, because after the ads run, we'll see which age group ended up getting the most distribution. But unless we tell Facebook that age group that really has the problem, they're not going to look for it. Does that make sense?
So for the age group, again, I'm just thinking about if I was writing the ads and
Yeah,
I wanted to get more specific about, again, targeting. It's really more stage of life than it is age.
yeah.
You know.
And I gave you men just out of like a 50-50 split in my head, to be honest with you. It wasn't scientifically based, and that was bad.
Okay. 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 I was just wondering because I mean,
You know, yeah, you could try, like, let's say, you focus on knee pain, and there's 5 pieces of ad copy, and 2 of them are for women and 3 of them are for men, or vice versa. There might be one that's a problem for both genders. You know, walking down the street, getting up and down stairs, lifting the grandchild up. Playing pickleball is a big thing in America. I know that's not her audience, but that was one of the examples just to show you of a co-ed audience problem. What do they play in England? What's they hit the birdie over the net?
Oh, badminton,
Yeah,
croquet.
right. My croquet game is suffering because of my bad knees. Yeah, I can't go on the
Do they, Jody? The expats love pickleball? How do you know that?
My ex-husband is an expat and he travels all over the world and is in these expat communities, and pickleball is like it's everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, he's a huge pickleball player, but he kind of know they do tournaments and like it's insane. Like all over the place. And especially in Asia, like Thailand, Indonesia, places like
yeah.
that.
See,
No,
yeah,
but those are going to be, I guess that's another way of looking at this too, is because that is probably American expats.
True, but I mean, you can do some
it
research on
depends
it.
on the
There's
country. There's not a single pickleball court in Merida that I know of.
in where? In
Or it was
Merida?
in Mexico.
Oh, okay. Probably not in Mexico. I mean, it's probably, I mean, it's expat community, like there's, I'm trying to think, all the islands, like over in Indonesia, Asia, in that area, I know, like have lots of, like they have big expat communities because people get like secondary, what do you, like passport or visa, like dual residency type
Well, that,
US
again, and
other-
that's just to keep the conversation tight. It was just an example. We don't have to go deep
Yeah.
on it here.
I don't know, do some research. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stats out
yeah,
there
you
about
gotta,
it, Nicole.
yeah. And that's the whole point of the prompts, is to get you thinking, like, who is
Yeah.
my audience?
Okay.
And if you don't want to use the prompts, it's okay. It's simply a tool to help you generate the outcome.
Right.
And
Okay.
was that helpful, Nicole?
Yeah. So basically, it's like I should pick like a more just a targeted audience, age, however I want to target it,
Yep.
age, gender,
Yeah,
location of problem. Okay.
yeah, you got it.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. I'm so glad to have you on the group coaching call. This was fun.
Yes, me too.
I was driving on the road. I'm like, I don't even know what my schedule is. And I was like, oh, the group coaching call tomorrow. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, I'm sure it's helpful for everybody that's here as well as those that listen to the recording.
Mm.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. Barrett, you had another question?
Yeah, okay. Switching to another topic.
Okay.
Because I'm building the lead funnel, I was thinking if we could probably have a short walkthrough with a Facebook lead gen formula. Just um, where to be careful and how to use it and so on.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand the question. So when you say a Facebook lead gen formula, is this like,
That in the Facebook ad, it's automatically the opt-in where you put your email. I don't know
okay,
if it's the right name, Facebook lead formula.
okay.
Just,
If you want to share your screen and have you
yep.
walk, I'll walk you through it.
Okay, one
Because
second.
it's a matter of choosing the correct objective
Mhm.
so that you have a lead objective. And there's two ways you can generate leads on Facebook. One is to have them go to your website or landing page. The second way is to have them fill out a form right on Facebook, and that's called an on Facebook lead form. And Facebook's gotten pretty snazzy with their on Facebook lead form and the information that you can opt for different pieces of information. You can exclude people from the word go on the lead generation form. It's usually a less expensive, less costly lead, but it also requires you to have your CRM set up for immediate delivery and your email sequence to go through, which is what you'd want on your lead magnets anyway. It also requires, from a technical perspective, to have that lead form connected to your CRM.
Sorry, I was a little bit
So let's start with
focused. Where is it? Freigeben.
would it be easier if I just shared my screen, Barrett, or?
No,
Oh, there
I,
you go.
I just
I
had
see
to
your screen
switch.
is coming on now.
Can you see my
Okay,
screen?
great. Yes, I
Okay.
see the German. I can see your
Ads off.
screen.
I switched to English, I hope, but not completely. Interesting.
Isn't that intriguing? Okay, so what you want to start with is the green create button.
Mhm.
So you're going to create your campaign, and here's your 6 objectives. And as you can see, the fourth one is leads. So when you click on
Yep.
that objective, see how the right side of that box changes, and you have 4 options. The instant forms
Ah,
is the on
okay.
Facebook lead form. You can also
Okay.
have people talk to you directly through Messenger,
Mhm. Mhm.
Instagram. Conversions are people going to your lead page. You can also generate phone calls.
Mhm. Okay.
So if you click continue here, and you want to use the bottom option, manual leads campaign, then click your blue continue button. And the majority of your designations for a lead campaign are going to be in your ad set and in your ad itself. So if we went to the ad set, oh, sorry, somebody's at the door. Just give just a moment. Mute something here. Thank you for your patience. The tree guys are out there. I'm supposed to go move my car. Okay. So if we were to go on the left-hand column where it says new leads ad set, click on that and see how the middle of the page changed? And that's second white box is where you have all the options of the type of lead you're looking for. The top one is the website, and you would use that to have people go to your landing page for the leads.
Okay.
So use that. So you click there.
You want me to go to website?
Yes, because that
Okay.
would be the option you'd want to select in order to have traffic go to your landing page. So the next area that is going to impact how you set up a lead campaign is under your ad level. So if you go back to that left-hand column and click on new leads ad, and then here, as you scroll down, you have to accept the terms of service for leads. So there's a red box in there you go. If you click on view terms, and then you want to agree to terms and conditions. That's standard on any lead campaign. So if you scroll down here on the ad level, we've got create ad. We're gonna do manual upload for your creative source. We're gonna do single video image, keep scrolling down. There's a section in here, okay, destination, that's where the landing page URL goes. So
Yep.
it says website URL. So the landing page URL would go there. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, there's these other options. See these options here? If you scroll back up, it's a little bit, okay, right there, the browser add-ons. If you want people to go directly to your landing page, you would use the option of none, because you want them to go to your landing page. So you don't want anything else on there. So you would click that radio button next to the word none. And then this is how you would set up a lead campaign or a lead gen formula for having leads go to your landing page,
Okay.
as opposed to all these other fancy options.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Was that helpful?
Yeah. And
Okay, everything else gets filled in normally, like you normally would.
okay, great. And the other thing, this instant form, is this, I don't know, is this the form when the ad shows up and you can type directly in the ad your email address?
That's
Or which-
correct. And that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah, forms are, they're good to use. You might have to go through 5 or 6 or 8 forms before you get one that really works. Every time you create a new form, depending on your CRM, you might need to reconnect it to your CRM. The form itself, you can unqualify people for your option. For example, if they don't want any copywriting services, or if they don't have a budget for copywriting services, that could be one of your questions. That's a pretty in-depth lesson that I don't have, that we could go into next time if you like. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then everything else, like you can send people to your event, you can give them an instant experience. Instant experiences aren't real popular, they're not real effective. It's used more for e-commerce. But those are the 2 main areas when you're setting up a lead campaign that you need to be aware of. Yeah,
Okay.
and feel free to play with that instant form. It's pretty involved. There's like 6 different levels to it. You have to have a privacy policy on your website and have that URL available. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds not so easy.
No, it's a little more, that's why it's easier to send traffic to your landing page.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was thinking, if you can use this instant form, you don't have the break from the Facebook ad to the landing page, you don't have this friction. But if it's more complex to set up this instant forms, okay, perhaps later.
Yeah, it is more complex, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great question. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
On that note, I've got to go move my car.
Okay.
I didn't see any notices downstairs. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for coming today. This was a great session. I hope it was helpful.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a nice
My
day.
pleasure. I'll see you in an hour, Bernd, on the pod call.
Yep.